Today is all about Gucci. This level of ostentatiousness, this level of gaudiness, this level of extravagance, this level of bling, as far as I'm concerned, is best done by Alessandro and Michele for Gucci. So really today's episode is about go big or go home. These are bold statement pieces. If you don't want to be noticed, you probably shouldn't be wearing these outfits. And also a quick reminder for those who have been with me for a while and for those that are new to my channel, that this is all about pre-loved. For the majority of pieces in this closet that you're seeing, except for maybe one or two, everything was purchased pre-loved from a consignment store, either online or in person. And it feels important for me to emphasize that the majority of pieces in this closet were not purchased new. Not only for a more sustainable environment, but for a more sustainable bank account. I don't have all the money in the world. I couldn't afford to purchase this new. I couldn't afford to purchase most of the things in my closet new. So, I know on YouTube there's a lot of fashion channels where people seem to have just an unending income, unending ability to purchase new pieces, very expensive new pieces. And this is not that channel. This is about luxury on a budget. Because I am on a budget, and my feeling is probably most of us are. So if you're like me, and you're on a budget and like to talk about fashion and luxury and bling, this is the space for you. So as you may or may not know, Gucci's current creative director is Alessandro Michele, and he began as creative director in 2015. And I'm old enough to remember when Tom Ford was creative director of Gucci back in the 90s and early 2000s. And after Tom Ford left Gucci, I found myself a little less interested in the brand. Not that I had a lot of money to be purchasing new pieces anyway, but I sort of lost interest in what they were doing at the time. That, however, has changed ever since Alessandro Michele has been creative director. I'm continually inspired by Alessandro Michele, and I will put in the description box below a link to one of the very first fashion shows that I saw on video of his. I was just blown away. And one of the most interesting things to me about Alessandro Michele is his vision, his aesthetic. I find a lot of paradox, a lot of quirkiness, a lot of eccentricity in his designs. The way that he questions beauty and at the same time has a very particular brand of beauty. And in fact, I have an interview here. He was interviewed on 60 Minutes, and it says Michele admitted that he is a lover of ugly things. In fact, the more strange, the better. And we'll talk a little bit more about Michele's vision as we're going through these amazing and quirky pieces. So to start off, we've got, I'll sit up and then I'll stand up, this amazing, completely blinged out blouse. I purchased this from the Real, and I just have it paired with basic jeans. So we have the ruffle here and the tie, and as you can see, it is completely covered in crystals. Ostentatious much? So again, these are statement pieces. You cannot walk around in this piece and not have people looking at you, have people staring at you. When I have gone out wearing this piece, especially for photo shoots, I have definitely attracted a lot of attention. And to me, this piece is a perfect example of that sort of quirky eccentricity. It's so over the top, but it's a different kind of beauty. It is ostentatious. It's sort of grotesquely ostentatious, and that's the point. If you're looking for refined and quiet luxury, this is not the piece for you. So again, definitely not understated and refined elegance. However, beautiful nonetheless. So either one of these pieces, when you're outside or even inside, when the sun hits you, these crystals, they fill the room. The light fills the room. There's this beautiful interplay between the sun and the wardrobe. And all of a sudden the light is part of what you're wearing. It's part of the costume. It's part of the experience. And you have all these beautiful dancing rainbows. And to me, that's beautiful. It fills the room with joy. So move her up a little bit closer. You can see the way that the light moves when it hits the skirt. But it's part of the experience. And in my excitement over Dancing Rainbows and Light, I forgot to mention that the skirt is also from the Real Real. I did not buy them at the same time. I purchased this skirt last winter, and I purchased this over the summer. But they're both from the Real Real. And you can check this video out to see how I styled these two pieces for a photo shoot this summer. So as you can see here on the dress model, this is the entire look with both pieces. And that is how it went down the runway. And now we are on to an equally ostentatious piece. So this extravaganza was from Poshmark, and I purchased this about 2 years ago. I obsessed over this piece when I first saw it. I love the color combination. I have a thing about purples and greens. When I look at the pieces in my wardrobe that I was sort of most obsessed with, they always have like a purple-green combination. So I see that theme running through my wardrobe. But this is completely blended out with clear sequins over the majority of the piece. This upper part has the purple sequins. So like I said, this was in Poshmark. It was pre-loved. And in fact, if you see these bands and the neck band, the band was actually removed from the bottom portion. The person that had this before me decided probably that she wanted to have a cleaner look, so she had it removed. But this is, you can see the clear sequins, and then there is sort of this winged effect back there. And besides the clear sequins, you have these crystals. Okay, so you can see that. And I'll take this jacket off for a closer look. One zipper. Again, a statement piece. If you don't want to be noticed, this is not the jacket for you. So here is a close-up of the piece. See the Gucci label. Now this piece is completely unlined. So that's one of the drawbacks about this jacket. It does feel a bit rough against the skin. I'm not quite sure why they decided to not line it, but that's how they did it. So, like I said, there's a zipper, and here's a close-up of some of the crystals. You see there are clear and red crystals. And here is the back. So, again, this is not quiet, refined luxury. This is loud. For those of us that may be quiet in real life, but like to wear loud clothes, this is for you. I also thought that it was really cool when watching the fashion show. This actually went down the runway twice. So during the fashion show, they had the model wearing this jacket, and at the end of the show, Alessandro Michele came out to take his bow, and he was also wearing this jacket. So it's a little piece of Gucci history, and I'm very lucky to have it. And lastly, we have the quietest piece in my Gucci collection, slightly less loud. This, like those two pieces, came from the Real Real, and I purchased this about 2 years ago. So it's this gorgeous silk velvet, and yes, there is a cat behind me. So you can see right away that this has the band that the other one was missing, and the band has sort of metallic fibers in it and matches the cuffs and the collar. We have this beautiful sort of khaki green and either a navy or a black velvet. Beautiful pink sequined flowers on the chest and blue flowers on the arms. Sequin flowers on the back. And unlike the other one, this feels really luxurious to wear. So it has the one zipper, And unlike the other one that was not lined, this is lined with this beautiful silk. So not only does it look beautiful, it feels wonderful to wear on the skin. So now, having viewed the pieces in my collection and thinking back to what we were discussing before about Alessandro Michele and his unique vision, you know, all of these pieces, they have an eccentricity to them. They are over the top. They are statement pieces. They are meant to be seen. One might say that they demand to be seen. Well, like my little friend here, who's demanding to be seen, right? This is Finley. For those of you who are newer to my channel, you haven't met Finley yet. He's made his appearance before, but not for the last couple of videos, so say hi to everyone, Finley. He's so unimpressed, as only a cat can be. So did you have a favorite piece in the collection? Were there some that you just looked at and were like, that is just so over the top, I wouldn't go near it? Or was some that kind of made you think differently? I just find all these pieces to be so in your face that they, like I said, they demand to be seen. When you're wearing them, you can't help but be seen. And that requires a level of boldness and refined elegance. Quiet elegance is not bold. It has its own beauty, and I actually do have pieces in my collection. If I don't want to be seen, I don't wear these. I'm not saying that refined elegance isn't beautiful, or that I don't appreciate refined elegance, but I also appreciate boldness. You know, I have a fairly quiet personality, or at least a quiet voice. My husband doesn't think I have a very quiet personality, but you know, what do you think? But I do have a quiet voice, and I get to be loud and larger than life when I wear these beautiful pieces. So as always, I invite you to comment below if you have, you know, thoughts or insights or opinions. You know, the more that we have a discussion, the more I know what's on your mind, and the more I can sort of tailor these videos for you. So for those of you who have not yet viewed it, I have a closet tour video that I'm attaching to the end of this video, and you'll see some of the other pieces in my collection, so be sure to check that out. And thank you again for joining me today. I so appreciate your time. As always, be happy, be healthy, be empowered, and most importantly, be you. Take care. I'll see you next time.